Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be back here with Katie. I'm sure you enjoyed our last video, and please don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you share with other people. See, all this information, we can only help one another, right? The way we best can. So today we're taking it, a little step further, and we're giving attention to our midlife people. I know this is not the new thing. People have been traveling like forever, but so if we have the burden to talk about this, then I feel we should actually talk about it. And especially since we see that around, every once in a while, and we get all the feedback. So based on all the feedback, we decided to do this. All right. So my name is Tulalade Somi, and this is Relocating Right on YouTube channel. You're welcome. If you're just watching for the first time, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe right now if you have not subscribed to the channel. And please make sure to like, all right? And tell other people about Relocating Right. Now, this morning, it's morning and in Canada right now. I'm excited to be with Katie.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Of the Successful Immigrant, okay? TSI. KDO means Kemi Dan Owolabi, right? Okay, so don't forget to check on her pages. She's Kemi Dan Owolabi on all the social media handles. And then the Successful Immigrant is also on YouTube, on
TikTok,
Instagram,
Facebook,
everything. How do you want it?
Yes,
I mean, just go there. All right. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about the midlife jackpot or midlife relocation, as you like it, because I think sometimes that word jackpot just assaults some people. I remember one time somebody was telling me I did not jackpot or I relocated.
Okay, you moved.
Where you moved?
Whether you jackpot, you moved.
You moved.
Yeah.
And so right now we just want to help you, whether you're just trying to move or you already have, and you have a lot of questions in your mind that you've not even been able to share with other people, and that's understandable, right? So KDO, let me start this way. Is it worth trying to relocate? I'm in my 40s, I'm almost 50. I mean, I've lived my life, all my life, invested a large chunk. I mean, that's half your life, that's why it's midlife.
Yeah, so like halfway is
I've done all of those things. So I mean, is it really worth trying to move right now for those who are just trying to move?
Again, I always take this back to the fact that as a person of faith, most of the decisions we make are faith-based. So let me quickly introduce a certain young man that God actually told to relocate.
Hey!
How old was this guy?
Child.
Abraham.
Oh my God, I knew you were going there. Good.
How old was this guy when he relocated?
Come on.
75. So you are 40.
Is that 45. Midlife? That's quarter.
3/4 life. So, just to answer the question, it's never too late to take the right step. Never too late to do the right thing. And right thing not meaning that all the things you've done in the past is bad or wrong. It's just that is the next phase for you. So for our midlife people, these days, I don't even know, midlife starts from 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, even up until 60. Because the Lord spares your life and you live to be 110. Guess what? At 55, you're still just halfway gone, right? So, short answer, it's never too late to do anything, especially relocate. It's never too late to relocate. It's never too late to fulfill the desires of your heart. Because essentially, that's what relocation is, right? Like we said in the last video, the desire to relocate to Japan, whatever you want to call it, is an innate thing. It's just the desire to do better, to be better, to experience better. That is what it is. There is no other way to it. So don't let's look at it, I want to leave Nigeria to. It's just the desire, you want better. That's why we go to school. That's why we get a job and we're looking for a better job. That's why we get married. We want children. We want noise in the family. We want to increase. We want to expand. So it's the same thing with relocation. That's the way I say it. You just want better. You want to be better. You want to see better. You want to experience better. You want something different. So it's never too late to do that.
Awesome, KDO. So, I'm thinking about the the advantages rather right now, and I wanted us to just quickly look into them. For me, I feel one of it may even be health. For health reasons. I mean, you come into a space where you're given more attention,
yeah.
and which is even like annually. Not like we can't get that back home wherever you have been, but I feel like maybe it just gives a better chance and a better opportunity. So I mean, let's say more about that. I just wanted to talk about.
So there are different reasons people relocate,
okay, yeah.
and there are different reasons why you may want to relocate when you're already like over 40.
Okay.
Like we said, it may be because you want a better life.
Yeah.
You want something better, and I see that for 99% of the people that I speak to, it's because of your children.
Yeah.
I hear my kids. I have to be the one to center them back to the fact that
it's not just about them.
It's not just about the children. The children, it's good to have a plan for your kids, but you deserve better too as a person. You deserve better, so you have to factor yourself into that equation, because guess what? It's going to help you when you get to the other side. Like by the time you eventually relocate. Shortly, I mean, I'm just going to say this quickly, and I'm going to leave that topic alone.
Okay.
What's life expectancy in Nigeria right now?
Yeah.
And what is life expectancy in Canada right now is 85 years. So you tell me, by the time you're 40, if you're not careful, your life is you're almost like, if you die, nobody will say, oh, you're too young.
Yeah.
Because life expectancy in Nigeria is way, way lower than Canada. So it gives you a better fighting chance. But I'm going to leave that alone to say that there are many reasons why people relocate, and there are many reasons why you want to do it. But whatever your reason, it's never too late to take that step. It's never too late to do what is in your heart. There was a person that was trying to say to me that I've always wanted to be a lawyer, but now I'm 55, and I'm asking myself, that somebody said to me that if you now go to law school at 55, you graduate at what, 60? Is it dead bodies you want to? I'm like, what kind of idea is that? An illiterate at 70 that choose to go to school, by the time this guy is 75, 80, he's going to be a learned 80-year-old person.
Oh, yeah.
And if the Lord spares your life to be 100, guess what? 20 years of literacy is worth fighting for.
And then he dies with fulfillment.
With fulfillment. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is all about.
Yeah.
Are you fulfilled?
Yes.
It's not about what you have or what you don't have. It's about in here.
Yes.
In here, how do you feel? So if you have that desire and there is a means, there is a way to it, I would say give it a shot. It's not rocket science like you're gonna it might feel like you're gonna shift your entire universe. But no, it's a new phase of life. It gives you a new lease of life. I actually came when I was already past 40.
Yeah.
And now they say I've been here for over 7 years, going to 8. They say the rest is history. Like I'm loving it. And I tell people like, if there's an opportunity to go somewhere else, maybe in the next 10 years, I will move. Because we want to experience all that life has to offer. That's the way we need to look at it. Don't look at it like, I'm leaving everything. I'm going to start from the scratch. How about you think about the fact that I'm going to reinvent myself?
I like that.
A new lease of life. Some of us, that's all we need. We need a new challenge.
Yes.
And it's in the kind of prism you have. If you look at challenge like, the world is coming to an end. The world beside me. Look at me. Who sent me message? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
It will lead to desperation, despondency, and depression.
Yes.
But if you look at it from this, an opportunity to revamp everything. Yeah. Rewrite your story. Just do something different.
Rewrite your story. I like that.
I would say give it a shot. It's totally worth it.
So I know that one of the things that happens, KDO, is the feeling that so I'm going to actually be starting afresh. How about looking at starting afresh as that reinvention that you just talked about right now? Because KDO, honestly, I was thinking about this recently because I'm also in my midlife, and I feel like one of the reasons why people experience midlife crisis is perhaps the boredom that you're already feeling, from life. Maybe you feel like you've done certain things over and over. You may not know it, but trying to do something new, even now. So this is not even talking about relocation. Even if you're staying back where God wants you to be, even if you're staying back in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, even in
Zambia,
the UK, wherever you are, even if you're staying back in your country and you love it there, you were born there, and for you, you're not going anywhere. I feel like one of the ways to beat midlife crisis is actually trying to do something new.
Go back to school. Start a skill. Learn a skill. Do something different. That's it's like it's putting more life into your life. That's what it's all about. Just reinventing yourself, rewriting your story. Don't just wait for death. I met a guy back then when I was doing my IT as a engineering student. This guy then he was 32. Wow. I was in my very early 20s. So when I met him, you know, he was saying to me that he's already married, he had 2 children, he had a company, the company was doing well then, he owned a Mercedes-Benz back in the, early 2000. So it felt like he had achieved everything. He said, Kemi, sometimes I'm thinking that what next? It looks like the only thing left is death. I'm like, no, you're just 32 for goodness sake. Would we say now it's a wrong thing that you were able to achieve things quickly? Right? So you just have to find a way to add more life to your life. Do something different, do something new, go. I know
for some of you, it may even be a missionary work.
Missionary work.
Yeah, why not? For some of you, maybe something totally different that you've never done before. You'd be amazed. You know, I mean, I remember I've always been an art student. I've never had to do anything science. Can you imagine me moving all the way from arts, history, kind of course and all of that into public health, into medical sciences, literally, you know. So and it's, for me, it's mind-blowing, as in it's a whole new season. It feels like something beautiful, like a new terrain, and it's exciting, it's challenging. Of course, it comes with its own attendant challenge, because you have to read more, you know
what you're doing to your brain. Alzheimer's is going to be far from you, because now you're using your brain. You're not just sitting down there and screaming and shouting at all the children passing on the street. Now you're doing something productive, constructive.
And you know, like you said, did you just say something about Alzheimer's now? You know, it's been said that if you actually put your brain to work, it's going to
give up on you.
No, you're not going to have to partake of any of those kind of things, you know, dementia and the rest of them, because you're putting your brain to work. Your mind is rightly engaged. And that's why, KDO, I'd like for us to talk about depression at this point, because even while you're trying to do all of those beautiful things for yourself, you want to be sure that you're guarding your heart, you're protecting your mental health. Because one of the things that I feel may happen to people in such seasons is to start comparing themselves, especially with people back home. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, if I was back home, I'd probably be you know, I was almost an MD, you know, I was almost a this, I was almost a that, I was almost a consultant, and then you're thinking like that. So how does that work?
So for that one thing I always say is, why did you think about? Because when the thought grows in your heart, it's for a reason. It's not just for nothing. Right? And then you now begin to brood on that thought. You're thinking, oh, I want to relocate, I want to move. You may, like we said in the earlier video, maybe you're thinking, oh, my kids, I want them to have a better opportunity. And that's why you went to the US, you went to Australia, you went to Canada, you moved to the UK. And now things are not working like you really envisaged. So it's not that things are not working. You know when we say, oh, she's beautiful, you're comparing it with something. Or it's clean. You're comparing with a state of dirtiness or something, right? So when you say it's not working, it's because you had a plan, you had a thought in your head that it should go A, B, C. So now it looks like it's at A, it's going to B, C is not happening quite yet. And then people go into depression. So I'm saying, the best you can do for yourself is have your plans. How those plans unfold really is outside of your control. And you know, one of the reasons why I try to redirect the thought of people when they come here and they meet with me as a new immigrant, because that's one of the things we do here. We work with new immigrants just to help them reprogram. Because there are some things you need to learn, relearn, unlearn, and then relearn, right? So one of the things I quickly try to do for them is take their focus away from their children to themselves. Because most people come in and say, my children, my children, my children, my children. I'm like, in Nigeria, maybe yes, your kids need a lot of this oversight and care and all of that. I'm not saying they don't need it here. But here, there's a structure. In fact, if your kid doesn't come to school, guess what? You're going to receive a call that this child was missing in school. Is there anything wrong? Blah, 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 blah. And then you have to respond to that. But back home, nobody cares whether they come to school or not, right? Except depending on the kind of school they go. But if a child consistently doesn't show up in school, you're going to get a knock on your door.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to call somebody that's going to call child care services, and they're going to come check in. But nobody's going to do that back home in Nigeria. So the point I try to make to them is, see, I'm not saying you should not worry about your children, but your children will be okay. In fact, in Canada, the order is not, the order is, when you're looking at importance, is number one, children. Number two, animals. Number three, you as a woman. Then lastly, Mr. Husband. That's the unspoken hierarchy. So before anybody will check if you're okay, they're already checking your kids first. And if you have a dog, they're checking that dog before they're even checking you. And then, of course, the woman and then the man. So the point I'm trying to make is, I try to bring them back to the point that your kids will be inherently okay. But you have to watch over yourself. First, tell yourself that I deserve to be here. That's why I'm here. I deserve a better life. And before we know it, the thing that you were longing for in Nigeria, when you now get here, we take it for granted. Now, there's always electricity. Now, we are not complaining about that. Now, the roads are good. You're not complaining about that. You know what you're complaining about? Oh, tax, bills, bills. I'm like,
hey.
There's electricity.
Yes. The constant electricity, the good roads, the facilities is because you're paying the tax.
Your taxes. So, tax should not be your concern. Your concern should be,
how can I make myself
earning enough, and then putting yourself in a position where you're just grateful. Because you cannot be grateful and grumpy at the same time.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You cannot be grateful and grumpy at the same time. So as a matured person that is coming into this climb, number one, count your blessings.
Amen.
Just count your blessings. And know that you're not going to die at 50. Again, I say to people, all these experiences, they are not for waste. When I came in, I already a director in the company I was working before I left. Then I got another job as a director of project. Then I started my own organization, my own company, my own civil engineering company as a business owner. And it was doing well before I left. Guess what? I came here, I was looking for a project manager job. I couldn't find any. So I had to start as a field engineer. And somebody would be like, how can I go and learn? Go and start from there, So I say to people, your expenses are not for nothing.
No.
Because, you may be starting that work with somebody that just graduated. But your attitude, the skills you've acquired over the years, all of your tenacity, all of your knowledge, they're not for nothing. It will begin to separate you and these people. And very, very shortly, they will realize that you may be having the same title, you are not having the same brain. So all you're just doing is learning the Canadian way of, for instance, in my case, doing engineering. But you catch that quickly because engineering is innately engineering, right? And the brain is there. So before I could say Jack, became senior field engineer, became lead this one, became lead that one, and then became a project engineer. And eventually, within the space of many years, became a project manager. If I remember the job I had before the last, so I was telling that guy that, I think my time here is done. So he was saying, no, Kemi, calm down, don't worry, eventually you will grow. I'm like, eventually you will grow. I am already grown. And then I applied, I got a job as a PM. And I did that job until I was like, okay, this phase is over, I need to start something else. So the point I'm trying to make is, you're already a managing director. You're already a HR manager. You're already a sales manager. You're already this, you're already that from where you're coming from. Yes, you might get here and things might not look like they are picking quickly, but patience. Trust the system. Trust God. And trust yourself.
Amen.
Because I always say to people that, even because one of the things people say to them when they come is, Canada, they are trying to bring us in as skilled workers, and they are making us do this dirty job. I'm like, no. There is need for engineers. That's why they want you to come in. There is need for doctors. I know that the requirement to actually practice, we call it barrier to practice, may be a bit difficult. Maybe in some cases, may be tough.
And should be, KDO, should be, because yesterday I remember we were having a conversation with a couple, and the wife is a medical doctor. It took her a long while to get certified here. And for explainable reasons. I mean, we're talking about lives here, right? And sincerely, she said it herself yesterday that if the exam she took, a good number of the questions that were asked were questions that even consultants may not have been able to answer. So, I mean, just being true to yourself and knowing that if what you have or what you have had that was supposed to be like standard is now substandard in a new region, then I guess we should be humble enough.
Yeah.
And grateful for the privilege of even learning
more, and then upgrade yourself quickly,
yes.
right? Upgrade yourself
yes.
quickly. And you're very correct.
Yeah.
Even in engineering, when it comes to ethics and responsibility, there were some things that I didn't realize. I remember one of my mentees, he just came in and was saying that, I went to this construction workplace, and the way the guy talked to me, I didn't like it. I felt like, is it because I'm black? I said, stop right there.
Don't do that.
No, it's not because you're black. It's because he knows his liability for you being on that side without permission.
Yeah.
Even if it's your house they are building, you can't just walk in and say, I want to go and check. You can't. You come into that workplace by appointment.
Yeah.
Because if you fall, insurance does not cover you. So I had to tell the guy, I said, sweetheart, no, this has nothing to do whether you're yellow, pink, or black. It's just the guy knows that if while you're there, the guy that is throwing something from the top doesn't know, does not expect you're there, and something falls, he's liable. Is liable for that, and the guy might rot in jail. So that's why they are being almost aggressive, because they're like, what are you doing here? Why should you be here? Didn't you see the part? And didn't you see the signage? Didn't you see and really the guy didn't see the signage because it was snowed.
Wow.
So it's not sort of covered a part of it. So it felt really bad. So I thought, no, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
It's not about
you. Yeah, don't take it personally, like we say. Yeah.
It's not about you at all. The guy is just concerned because he knows the repercussion of anything happening to you. Some people say, I say I should just come and do internship. I don't even want money. I don't know why they are not employing me. They are not employing you because the insurance doesn't cover you. If you like, bring your chair from home and sit beside them. But if anything happens to you in the workplace, what do they say? It's not like Nigeria where you can just sweep. They will go to jail for it. So that's why a lot of people, a lot of things like that, we go that route. And one thing I also wanted to mention to Olu that I realized that a lot of people have been asking me is, particularly people that are of the household of faith, that we believe so much in ministry. They say, how will I leave Nigeria and come here now? Ministry, there's no ministry here. I say, hey? Didn't you read your Bible? When they were carrying the oil, and then Judas was very annoyed that this oil, we should have sold it. We should have given the money to the poor, even though we know the uncle wanted to put the money in his pocket. And Jesus said, let her do what she's doing in preparation for my burial, because the poor will always be among you.
Yes.
What am I trying to say? Even here in Canada, there is
the
ministerial need.
Everything.
There are people, there are young people.
Wherever there's people, anyway, there will always be ministry.
There will be ministerial needs. There are needs that needs to be fulfilled. So I'm not saying carry your ministry and come to Canada, but I'm saying that if the only reason you are staying back, even though you know in your heart of heart that I'm ready to go, is because you're thinking, where will I be a youth counselor? Where will I be a youth teacher? Where will I be a children teacher? There are needs even here. There is ministry needs here. Because wherever, like Pastor Tolu said, wherever there are people, there is always need. But we just need to know and be convinced that.
Yes, first of all, because that's so important. So it doesn't feel like, you're being pushed, you're being pressured. No, don't be. This has to be personal. This has to be like something that you want to do and that you're convinced about and that you have prayed about. Especially because we're faith people, we always refer to that. It's important who is leading you. All right, so my question would be, who actually is leading you? Now, finally, because we have to wrap this up. So what about family considerations? And then we'll talk about retirement plans.
When you family considerations, what exactly are you
So family considerations, like if people came in, they were newly married or they were still young, so for my children, you put them into school, blah, blah, blah. But for most people who are in their midlife, most likely they'll have maybe children who are about to go into the university or something like that. And then so you begin to look at the expenses and you're like, oh my goodness, how is this going to work for us? How are we going to handle this? How are we going to take care of grown children? As opposed to, though there are different blessings, with that. Because, if you had children, as in like little kids, it's a lot of work. A whole lot of work. For instance, if your child can't go to daycare yet, you have to be willing to stay back home. One of you will have to stay back home. If your child is old enough to go to daycare, you have to pay a whole lot of money for daycare.
If a child that can come from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya here, can actually go to, there are some we call home I've forgotten how we call it. There's daycare and then there's the homeschooling.
Okay, homeschooling.
Home, whatever they call it. Where you just, it's like a home. It's not a daycare, but somebody's home, but it's registered.
Yeah.
So you put them there. But the problem with that is that it's expensive.
Yes.
So family consideration, you're looking at the ages of your kids.
Yes.
For instance, I have somebody that was talking to me like 3 weeks back. One of the kids is already in 300 level medicine in Nigeria. The other one is about to go into school. Is writing an exam, so she's thinking, how do I do that? In fact, that my oldest have read me the riot act that I am not going back to go and start all over again, blah blah blah. I'm like, family dynamics.
Yes.
You need to know what works for your family. You need to these children, they're not babies. You need to sit them down and have a conversation.
Yeah, let everyone be involved.
Yeah, let them be really involved and get a buy-in. You as the parent need to drive the conversation. Yes, you need to make the decisions, but you need to carry them along and then look at where the pros and cons.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing is once a child is 16 years old, they can work here. Particularly if you come with peer, they can work. They have that ability to work and earn money. But I imagine most parents are like, 16 in Nigeria. This child, if you're not careful, you're still waking them up in the morning to wake up and have their bath, right? But here is a bit different. If they want to be responsible, the ability and the opportunity to be responsible is there. So they could actually work and help the family and earn income while they now talk about going to school and all of that. Again, it boils down to reading, studying, understanding what obtains and where you're going and how that affects your personal, individual, family dynamics. So how will it work for us? Do you have to maybe wait another 2 years for this child to graduate so that he's coming in as... But again, what happens to that window of opportunity that you have? So it's a lot of juggling and, just seeking counsel, reading and asking the right questions to be able to determine that.
Okay. All right. So finally, KDO, let's talk about retirement plans. So like if you were back home, at home in Nigeria, you probably say, okay, retirement is 60, 65. Yeah. So, and then I'm here, where it feels like I'm just starting. So how does that leave me? Yes.
But again, the question is, even retirement in Nigeria, when you retire at 65, then what?
What next?
What do you get?
Yeah.
Particularly for those of us that are engineers, lawyers, bankers, what pension do you have? Most of the time, I make bold to say most of us, our retirement plan are our kids because you're hoping they'll grow up and take care of you, right? But that even that has its own issues because you can't guarantee what a child will do. So that retirement myth, like you have I don't know, people have different strategies for retirement in Nigeria. It's not so different from here, but the only difference here is that if you had worked long enough, you have the pension, and we also have the added blessing of the financial institutions working. So what I always say to people is there are many ways, but one way is also to have a life insurance so that by the time you're 65 you can cash out and use that money for your retirement or take care of business based on that. So because life insurance is really key here, and they will pay out, unlike where a lot of people are debating because somebody took their money and ran away.
Off with it.
So again, it's planning, proper planning. You need to know where you are. You're 50. Can I work 20 more years? And when I'm working, what am I doing with the money, the funds I'm getting? I know some parents that, sad as it may, they have invested all their money in their children. And I said to them that, in fact, there was one I had to, it was like, man, I don't know, these children, they are scam. I said, how can your children be scam?
No.
He says, I didn't want them to, because they have the opportunity to go to school with student loan. But they didn't want them, because most African parents don't want their kids to take loan, because the borrower, you will not borrow. I'm like, sometimes it's okay for them to borrow, so that they can work and pay off their own bills. But you use all your investment to pay school fees, and now you are waiting for this child to come and take care of you.
Wow.
And you've forgotten that you're the one bringing them to Canada, and right here, it's not like back home where automatically you can grow and expect that your kids will take care of you. Here, you have to teach your children that that is what you should do, because some things we think it's automatic. It's just because of the environment. If you don't tell them, their auntie will tell them that you take care of your mother. You are a very stupid boy. You're not, but here nobody will do that for you. So you have to teach your children. I tell my kids that, again, there's this thing that once you are 18, your parents can kick you out of the home. So I remember when we first came here, I think within 4-6 months, my kid heard it in school that once you are 18, then it was 9. that once you're 18, your mom is going to kick you out of the house, blah, blah. She was looking at me and said, Mom, is it true that when I'm 18, you're going to send me out of the house? And I started laughing. I said, see, different people, different culture.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, the people that we are 6 o'clock people.
Yeah.
You said 6 o'clock. I said, yeah, we take care of our parents, we take care of our children. That is who we are.
Yeah.
So you've heard me talk about grandma, grandpa, and all of that. I said, yes. I said, yeah. You heard that? We send money home. I said, yeah, to take care of them. That's the kind of people we are.
Yeah.
We're 6 o'clock. We take care of our parents, we take care of our children. I didn't have to leave my father's house until I got married. And I was ready, right?
Yeah.
I said, it's the same thing. I'm not going to kick you out. But the most important thing is, at every point in time, you're doing the best that you can.
Yes.
So I'm teaching them that it's okay to take care of your parents. But I'm not going to wait for them to come and take care of me.
Yeah, right.
But whatever they do is a blessing on them, because they take care of their parents, honor your parents.
Scripture says,
Yeah, so you will be blessed. So I say to people that sometimes we need to be smart in the way we are dealing with our children.
Yeah.
Because a child that you have invested all your life, the money that you should use to take care of yourself in your old age, you've put, particularly the system supports that they can be okay. And I'm not saying that allow your kids to go into debt. No, I'm saying train them properly.
Yeah.
But also take care of yourself.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. The system will take care of them.
We're just saying, don't put all the pressure on you.
Exactly. Don't feel like, oh, I have to, this child wants to study accounting, and now school fees is this. I have to find the money and pay. When she has the opportunity to take some loan, and then when they start working, pay back. Yeah. Right? All manner of stories we hear every time, my sister. But my own is just watch over yourself. Yes. Because these children, they are going to be okay. Yeah. They will be very okay. The system will cater for them. Your job, the most important job is emotional and mental wellness.
Oh, yes. Very important. I was just going to, go back there again, KDO, to say, and don't isolate yourself.
Don't isolate. Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Don't isolate yourself. Yeah, it's very, very important that we don't do that.
So find a Christian community, find a good community, and, just be a part of what's happening there. Don't isolate yourself. Even if it's a white community, you find yourself, it doesn't matter. I mean, thank God for God's people everywhere. Okay, make yourself useful to them. Whatever it is that you can offer, be there and just participate in whatever is going on there. And before long, you'll be home again.
Exactly.
You'll be home. Where you make home actually is home.
Yeah, exactly. So, wherever you make home is home. So she already, in fact, that is key. Don't isolate yourself. Make sure you are living your life. Yes. Live. Yes. Don't just pack up and wait for life to happen to you. Once you get to that new community, be a part of it, know what they are doing, do whatever they are doing that, aligns with your own goals and your own values. Yeah. And once you find that, immerse your children also. Yes. But please, take care of yourself and live.
Yes, I really like that.
Don't stay in the house. There was 1 year, there was this, and when Canada was, how many years? There was a Canada Day festival. Yeah. So they said, well, not a festival, but just it was Canada Day. So there was a lot of things happening in town. So there was this particular place where they had solidified the ice, they made it maple, it was so beautiful. And they were people donate a lot. So there was going to be free hot chocolate, games for the kids, blah, blah, blah. So when I heard it in the radio, I was excited.
You wanted to go.
So we took, with another family, our family friend, we went together. Would you believe, my sister? Wow. We were the only blacks there.
Imagine that.
We were the only black people there. And I was saying, where are my people?
Yes.
We don't go out. We just stay indoors, right? Please don't isolate yourself. Yeah. Build that community.
How are you going to even meet that helper of destiny that God sent to you if you don't go out there? You need to go.
Absolutely. So, watch over yourself. Take good care of your mental and emotional health. Take care of your kids, and the Lord will help us.
Amen. And you're going to be fine, okay? So take a deep breath right now and know that you're going to be fine.
Very okay.
Yeah, God is with you. He's on your side and He's going to help you. Even if right now you have jackpot. You're in the UK, you're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in Netherlands, you're Germany, wherever, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I made a mistake. Don't beat yourself on that, right? Don't beat yourself on that. Do me a favor. Tell yourself, God is going to help me through this. I'm going to be fine. And if you really feel like you need to go back home, you're convinced that you're not supposed to be there, it's fine. Nobody, I want to believe nobody chased you out of wherever you're coming from. If you're convinced that you need to go back there, don't say I'm not going back because of shame or whatever. Whose shame? Hey,
it's your
and
life.
whose life? It's your life.
Absolutely.
Whatever you think you need to do, whatever you think is right to do, please do it and be happy. Okay? Make sure you live. Enjoy your life, because this life that you have is the life of God in you.
Absolutely.
Right.
And one thing I want to say, please, I always say to people when we're on shows like this, feel free to DM Tolu, DM myself, Kemi will be on all my Instagram handles, all social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Send messages. If you need encourage, ask questions.
Please do. You're
Relocating
not alone.
Right. Exactly.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Just know that you're not alone. So there's this community. We're here for you, and we will respond to your questions. KDO is here. And I know people that I've sent to her, and she's really, really been a blessing to them. In fact, one of them calls her Angel, right? Because that's who she is. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this one today. This is Relocating Right. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to like, please do. And don't forget to also tell somebody about Relocating Right. This is Kemi Danuwolabi, KDO, like you love to call her, of the Successful Immigrant. Don't forget to also go to those pages and be blessed by everything that you see there. Okay, guys, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.